Hey, what's up everyone? So obviously, as you can see, I am not in my office. I am actually in northern Wisconsin right now. I am photographing a destination wedding up here in the North Woods. Tonight, I'm doing some rehearsal and dinner coverage, and then tomorrow is the full wedding day. And so obviously we're not in the office and all that, but what I wanted to do is use this opportunity to show you what it is that I actually bring with me when I photograph a destination wedding. Now, keep in mind, this is specifically for the photography side of things. I do live in the photo and in the video world. So oftentimes I'll be filming weddings or filming other content. This is not that, this is just the photography side of things. So let's go ahead and dive into all the stuff that I bring with me when I photograph a destination wedding. So first off, I want to talk about the two different bags that I brought with me. The first bag is the McKinnon Nomadic travel bag. This is the 45-liter Peter McKinnon Nomadic collaboration bag that I've had for a number of years. Still a fantastic bag, really great bag just to bring a bunch of different gear with you. I do have a couple of different bags that I bring with me, but for this trip, I decided to bring the McKinnon Nomadic. The other bag that I brought with me that's going to go on my shoulder is this leather bag, shoulder bag by Ona. This is their Brixton. I've had this thing for so many different years and love this thing. It's just what I use to carry with me on the wedding day when I'm shooting. I'll just carry some extra lenses, some extra accessories. I'll throw a flash in here, some water, snacks, all those kind of things. Anything that I need that just I want to have on my person goes in this bag. And then usually the big McKinnon bag just kind of stays in the car, or I kind of tuck it away somewhere so I don't have to carry a super heavy backpack with me everywhere I go. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and open up this bag, and I want to talk about the different cameras that I bring with me. And the first one and the primary camera for this wedding is the Sony a7R5. Now, the a7R5 is actually not a camera that I own. I'm renting this camera from lensrentals.com. If you love renting gear, this is not a sponsored bit at all, but if you love renting gear, or if you want to test out some gear, Lens Rentals is an amazing place to do that. I will leave a link below in the description to get $25 off your first rental. Again, not sponsored. I just love them. I use them all the time. But the a7R5 is my primary photo camera for my weddings as of now, alongside the camera that I'm using to film this video right now, which is the Sony a7 IV. Now, the a7 IV is a camera that I own, and I use that alongside my FX3 when I'm shooting video. A7 IV is a phenomenal camera if you're in the wedding space, or if you're looking to get into the wedding space and you want to shoot Sony. A7 IV is a really great all-arounder camera. A7R5 brings some more features, some better autofocus, some more resolution, and all that. So it's a great primary camera, but the A7 IV is a fantastic backup camera, and I would have no issues using the A7 IV as the primary camera for a wedding. It's just going to kind of fit that second spot because I also have the a7R5. And then one more camera on this job, and that is my Leica Q3. I bought the Q3 about 8 months ago or so, and I have been using this thing all the time. For photography weddings, it just goes around my neck, and I use it to capture random, candid, behind-the-scenes moments. This camera has an amazing sensor. I've done a whole video on my thoughts on this camera. It's an amazing camera, and because I have it, I just love to bring it with me. I love the images that come out of this thing. I love the 28mm lens that's on it, and it's just a really fantastic camera to have with me. I really can't get away from the Q3. I love this thing so much and love the images that are coming out of it. So yeah, those are the three cameras that I'm shooting this wedding, and really those are the three cameras that I photograph most of my weddings with. All right, so moving on to lenses. So the Q3 just has an integrated lens. It's the 28mm 1.7. Fantastic lens. I really, really love this combination of lens and camera body. But then the Sony lenses that I bring with me, I have 4 of them for this job. So the first and the primary lens that I'm going to be shooting with is the 28-70 f2. Now this is going to be paired on the Sony a7R5. And because the a7R5 is such high resolution, I definitely can still punch in, even at 70mm on this camera, I can punch in even more and still have very, very deliverable resolutions, which is amazing. I also can shoot at 28 and get a wide shot and then kind of crop in and deliver 2 different versions just with one click of the shutter button because the a7R5 has such great resolution. The 28-70, it's a lens I've loved for a long time. I shot with this lens a lot when I was shooting on Canon, and now that I'm shooting on Sony, again, I don't own this lens. It's stupid expensive, but I've rented this lens and it's a phenomenal kind of all-arounder lens to capture the wedding day on. So the other 3 lenses in my kit are 2 primes and a zoom. So the first prime that I have is actually filming this video, and that's the Sony 35mm 1.4 G Master. Phenomenal lens. I really love having a 35, having that 1.4 that opens all the way up, just to allow lots of light in, to have some incredible depth of field. Fantastic on the dance floor. Really, really happy with that lens. I also have the 50mm 1.4 G Master. This is one of the first, and I think this is actually the first Sony prime that I purchased. And honestly, the 50mm paired 200 with that 28-70, two different cameras. I just really like the way that works. I can get some really great depth of field on the 1.4, on the 50, good for kind of capturing behind the scenes portraits, all that kind of stuff. And then the 28-70 f2 is a super versatile kind of all-arounder lens. That's a really great combination. Or if I really need the low light, a little bit more of a wider angle, I'll switch to the 35. So those are the two primes that I bring with me, the 35 and the 50 1.4. And then the only other lens that I bring with me is this 70-200 f4 macro. This is the OSS Macro G. This is the version 2 lens that has macro capabilities. And that's one of the reasons I bring this lens with me when I'm shooting weddings, because it functions as a macro lens. And so it's kind of two lenses in one. It's a great lens for some extra reach during a ceremony or during toast or something, but it also has a really close focusing distance, which is super, super helpful when you're trying to just like punch in, get some really cool like ring shots or detail shots or something like that. So this lens is just a really great all-arounder. Now, it is not the 2.8 version, so once it kind of gets darker outside, I tend to steer away from this lens, gravitate towards the 28-70 f2, or honestly one of my primes. But during the day, for the ceremony, and especially for those macro shots, it's a really great lens, and it's super small, super lightweight, super easy to throw in the bag. All right, what else do I have in this bag? Oh, flashes. So I carry two of these. These are the Godox V100S flashes. These are relatively new flashes, but they're super high powered, super versatile flashes. I have two of these that I can use for creating some light separation, or if I need to have some fill flash, throw one of them on the other side of the dance floor. Super awesome, really great light, really, really high powered light. The V100 is just a great overall flash at honestly a pretty good price point. And then the other convenient thing on these flashes is that they have removable rechargeable batteries that you can charge with USB-C. And so I have a couple of these batteries that I bring with me. Honestly, I've never had to change them. So I just carry one extra battery. So 3 total with the 2 that are in the flashes and then 1 extra. But again, they charge USB-C. So if I need to charge them even on the wedding day, I can just plug them into my MacBook charger and they will charge right up, which is super, super handy. And then for the flash system, I also carry this little Godox trigger. And I don't know what the actual model of this is. Let's see if it says on the side. This is the X3S. This is just a little hot shoe trigger that you can put on the top of the camera. It allows you to trigger the flash from the camera while the flash is off camera. So if I need to hold the camera somewhere or mount the camera somewhere and have flashes somewhere else, or primarily the way that I use this is on the dance floor or during portraits, if I want to have a little bit more of an editorial look and want to have the flash kind of coming from off camera, but still be, hand holding everything, I will just clip this on the top of my camera, hand hold the flash. It just kind of gives some really cool editorial style portraits or dance floor shots, and just gives you more ability to control light. And then obviously you can pair that with an additional light across the dance floor or something and do some really cool stuff with flashes. So that's all the stuff I bring for flashes. Obviously batteries, memory cards, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of a no-brainer, but I do carry a bunch of extra batteries, some extra memory cards for the cameras in case I run out. One of the things I've started bringing with me also is this intervalometer. If you're shooting like reception stuff or reception coverage and want to capture just some cool random candidates of guests just intermittently throughout the night, using an intervalometer to trigger that camera to just shoot every 5 seconds for 30 minutes or something like that can be a great way to capture some extra behind the scenes, images, effectively kind of creating your own second shooter if you want to. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, Sony does have an intervalometer built into the camera, but when you use Sony's intervalometer that's built in, the camera stops focusing. So you have to lock focus and then keep focus there. If you use an external intervalometer, the camera will still focus for every shot. And so you can just kind of set the camera focus up on the wide focus, or if you want to spot focus somewhere specifically, but specifically for capturing guests or anything like that, just put the camera on a tripod, use the intervalometer, and then the camera will intelligently focus every single time it takes a photo. Great way to add some diversity, really great way to take self-portraits. I've made an entire video about that. If you want to check that out here or here, I will link that for you so you can check that out as well. One more thing I do bring with me is my drone. I'm still flying an older Mavic Air 2, not even the Air 2S. So this is a bit older drone, but every once in a while I want to capture like an aerial photo or a photo of like the dance floor or the ceremony setup if things have been really aesthetically laid out. So just having a camera that I can get up in the air, do some cool shots of the ceremony or the venue or something like that is really handy. And then the only other main thing that I bring with me is my harness. I'm currently using the Rose Anvil double harness. I forget exactly what model it is, but really comfortable, really fantastic harness just to have 2 cameras hanging on you, but easily accessible at all times. And so if you're shooting with multiple cameras, having some sort of harness system is really, really helpful. And I use the Rose Anvil system and it's worked super great for me. Oh, and then also I do bring with me my DJI Action 5 Pro, just a little, action cam, and then I have a magnetic mount that goes on the top of my camera, just like a little hot shoe mount, and so I can put this on my camera and then mount the action camera to my mirrorless camera and use that to capture some behind the scenes video if I want to do social content or something like that. Oh, and then one more thing that I didn't mention that is in my camera bag really at all times is this. This is instant coffee from Swift. These are really fantastic if you're a coffee person. I'm a huge coffee person, and I used to travel with the whole pour over kit. I bring like a kettle and a grinder and a scale and beans and all that kind of stuff. And it was just way too much stuff to bring with me every time I traveled. So I discovered these. This is from Swift Coffee. These are little packets. And they have a bunch of different versions. This is their Ethiopia, but like single origin, blend, all that kind of stuff, even decaf if you want it. But basically you just add this to hot water and you have a really great, nearly pour over quality cup of coffee. If you're in the wedding industry, you probably know wedding reception coffee is usually pretty terrible, but wedding receptions usually have hot water, or at least you can do that at the Airbnb or the hotel. And so having a way to make a good cup of coffee, if I'm in a location, especially like this, where I'm way up north in Wisconsin and there aren't a lot of great quality coffee shops around, having a way to make some good coffee is really, really helpful. And it's super small, slides right into my camera bag, and we're good to go. 2 more accessories to actually go in my shoulder bag. So in the front pocket, I have this battery pack. This is just one of the OmniCharge battery packs, and I use this just in case I need to charge one of my cameras on the go, charge my flash. I've given this to content creators who had their phones were dying. It's just a really great idea overall, just to have some extra power on you. So I carry that with me along with the USB-C cable. And then in the other pouch, I just carry a bunch of odds and ends. I have, and honestly, I should probably get a little pouch for these, but I have like granola bars, I have tissues, Band-Aids, Tums, more granola bars, lens wipes, some gum, just a bunch of random odds and ends that you need throughout the wedding day. That's just super helpful to have on your person. And so that just goes in my shoulder bag, so I have all those things with me at all times. So anyway, that is all the stuff that I bring with me when I am photographing weddings, both destination weddings and locally in Michigan. Hopefully that's been an interesting video for you. If it has, let me know down in the comments what you thought. If you are a wedding photographer yourself, let me know how my kit compares or differs than yours. If there was anything that you learned, or if there's anything I should integrate into my kit, let me know all that stuff down in the comments. I would super appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, like, subscribe, do all those things. It really, really helps my channel, so I super appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.